cats and people. A dog who's as busy as the rug. The cat gets a little cheeky. A kitty who doesn't hang in there, baby. A kid goes sled over heels. A kitty gets pushed too far. And a cork pops while a glass drops.
It's the show that will have you sick.
Stay, laugh, and beg for more. Welcome to Funniest Cats and People. If you do it right, any time is playtime. When Louis outgrew his favorite scarf, he was heartbroken. So he decided to stretch it until it fit again. I mean, red really compliments orangutan hair and makes his baby browns pop. Plus, it was a gift from his aunt. Just a little bit more. Ah, perfect. Now that is what we call orangutan ingenuity. It all came down to this. Who would be the pet chess champ of the Robinson household? Looks like a good old-fashioned knight's rook to pawn's pawn for Mitzi. Yep, and check and mate. Jackson is the new grand champion. Sometimes when you play a tabletop game so many times, you need to find new ways to spice it up. So Elwood and Jake added the giant cat to their tabletop soccer exhibition. Having to dribble, pass, and shoot around a gargantuan feline changes the entire dynamic of the game. Do you think soccer is a low-scoring game normally? Well, try adding a giant cat. Now, they've been playing for 17 hours straight, and it is still 0-0. Now, that's defense. Butkus and Elroy never could figure out how Mom always knew they had been playing ball in the house while she was at work. They always stopped when they heard her car pull up in the driveway. Here's a tip, fellas. Try putting the carpet back the way it was. Look at it. It's a clear giveaway. Like a mailman, Petey will not be stopped by snow, rain, sleet, or ice. He just switches from fetching sticks to fetching the windshield wipers. Yep, Petey still gets his playtime, and his owner gets the benefit of the defroster and the heater. It's not that Regina minds the soothing sounds of the accordion to be the musical soundtrack to her life. She just wishes her owner would learn some new tunes. Even one new song. I mean, how many times can you hear she'll be coming around the mountain without going a little nuts? Yes, yes, she'll be driving 6 white horses, blah, blah, blah. We know enough already. Come on.
Would the accordion player please move his Ferrari?
Ready? Set. Wait. Timmy wasn't ready. See, dogs don't instinctively know how to pull a sled. The 2 most important lessons in sled pulling are to wait until your musher is ready, and when stopping, don't be too abrupt. He seems to be learning the hard way. Anything worth doing is worth videotaping. Watch what they can do. They said no fence could hold him, and they were right. Not that Leonard wanted to go anywhere. He was totally happy here. I mean, it was home. That's why he kept coming back. He just wanted to show them he couldn't be contained by something as insignificant as a 12-foot-high fence. For Leonard, it was a matter of pride. The power company's going to give you a 10% discount if you read your own meter. So the Petersons taught the kitty how to do it. Hopefully, with all the money they're going to be saving on their electric bill, they're going to buy Kitty a ladder. After all, it is apparent that he has earned it. They should also turn off some of those lights. Hey, maybe they could teach the dog to do that. Go get it! It hardly seems fair. If you're gonna play a game of tag with the dog, you should limit the playing field to the ground. I mean, he agreed to no tag backs, 10-count head start, and being it first. Hiding in a tree seems to defeat the good-natured competition of tag. Come on, kitty, play fair. The dog is. Many art experts are relying on cats' acute senses to spot forgeries in the art world. It's true. The feline eyesight and sensory abilities pick up brushstroke nuances that human beings simply miss. And there's nothing cats hate more than some hack trying to pass off his own work as one of the masters. Was this painted by Leonardo da Vinci? Apparently not. Nice try, Leonardo da Faker. It always works out well when roommates split up the housework. See, Apricot not only sets the table, does the laundry, pays the bills, does the gardening, and clears the table, but when it comes time for their evening walk, Apricot also gets her roomie's shoes. What does Apricot's roommate do? Well, we aren't 100% sure. Coming up, a cat heads for the dump, and a car gets a bump. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. And they may tell you that it is a dog's life, but we think it's the felines that have all the fun. This is proof that not only do opposites attract sometimes, but on rare occasions they can become best friends. Jake and Tweety have a pretty good thing going on here. Tweety eats the pieces of cat food that Jake doesn't like. You know, like the veggies Granny tries to sneak in there. Tweety grooms Jake's tail when his tongue gets tired. And Tweety even makes sure Jake doesn't have any food particles in his whiskers. And in exchange, Jake doesn't eat him. It's a pretty good deal. Sometimes cats just can't help themselves. They love to shred the drapes with their claws. Really smart cats get rid of the evidence so they don't get in any trouble. Every single time Eddie lapses and shreds something, he bags it and takes it down to the furnace. His owners simply think ghosts are taking the drapes to wear when they go haunting. Truth is, Eddie just doesn't want to be scolded. Looks like Eddie has been particularly busy lately. Of course, his owners keep telling Ghostbusters and parapsychologists there are curtain-stealing ghosts in the neighborhood. Eddie is a little crazy. Crazy like a fox. Crazy like a kitty. The kitties they play all night and all day. Who's having the most fun, no one can say. One morning they saw a chapeau made of straw. They danced on the brim, they played on the rim. But one of them's missing. I think I hear hissing. Where could he be? The cat I don't see. Looks like the time has come for this cat. He would not, could not stay under the hat. Some things in life are so nice they're worth rewinding and enjoying twice. Being an only cat, Reginald used to make up imaginary friends. But lately, he's simply befriended his tail. Nothing like playing a game of chase with your own tail. The best thing about having a tail as your friend is that you know he will always stand behind you no matter what you do. And he's always willing to play a game of chase. How can Lulabelle eat all she wants and still stay in such amazing shape? Well, it's simple, really. For each tasty morsel, she does one of her full trademark half gainers off the couch. You see, that way she has both an appetite and abs of steel. Sure, the dress is beautiful, but it might be a tad long. Well, she did agree, for better or for worse. Who knew worse could come so quickly? All the mothers in the village knew that Crazy Man Macintosh meant well, but they learned from the last time that if you were going to let your children go on one of his sleigh rides, it was a good idea to wear a helmet. In fact, you really should wear a helmet anytime Crazy Man Macintosh is around. He didn't get the name Crazy for nothing, you know. Jingles had peculiar sleeping habits. Not only did he have to have his stuffed Pookie dog, but he also had to use Roscoe as his mattress. If he didn't have those two things, he would howl all night, and then nobody would get any sleep. Pookie didn't mind so much, but Roscoe, well, he would prefer another arrangement. It was the most complicated game on the Midway. For $3, you got one chance. You had to pop the cork out of the bottle, off your partner, and into the glass. Oh, so close! $3 and you can try again. Come on, you can't win if you don't play. When Buck heard the call of the wild, he called back. There was no answer. Just because summer's over and the kids are back in school doesn't mean the fun has to end for Digby. Every day from 9 to 3, Digby is in the backyard playing solo tetherball. Not only does it help him pass the time while awaiting the kids' return from school, but the mad skills he's developing by practicing so much mean that next summer, he will dominate. Jiminy Pines is a unique golf course. It is great off the tee, but you have to pay serious attention to the water hazards. Yeah, that's about par for this course. It's always a good time to sit back and realize that although Mom loves us and would do anything for us, maybe the best gift you can give her is a little space. Let Mom have a little me time, you know what I mean? You owe her everything. I mean, she gave you life. Now give her a break. Mother. M is for the many puppies that just won't leave her alone. So this week, give her something she can really use. Her privacy. Coming up, a kid gets debriefed. And another gets fleeced. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. When it says so easy, even a child can do it, you better get one, because putting stuff together is child's play. Donald's parents tried to make his childhood dream of becoming a dog jockey a reality. In the fickle, incredibly competitive industry of dog riding, a sad reality dawned on Donald. Even at 3 years old and a mere 45 pounds, he was already too big. How about being a goat jockey, Donald? Morris was tired of chasing his own tail. Found it kind of boring, frankly, so he decided to chase little Stevie's tail. It didn't hurt his neck so much, and it was more of a challenge. course, the same problem existed. What to do when he caught it? What to do, what to do. Sean's mom hoped that a visit to the petting zoo might help little Sean get over his irrational fear of goats. He's had the fear ever since she read him the Billy Goat's Gruff when he was a kid. Now, you'd think that would have made him afraid of trolls, right? But no, it was the goats he feared. She thought the hard part would be placing him in the goat yard, but so far so good. Now, if she could just get him to feed one. I mean, how can you be afraid of something after it nibbles some greens right from your little hand? Ah, they were making progress. Okay, maybe the whole nibbling greens out of his hand should have been thought out more. Now to combat his fear of snakes. Carson had an eye for fashion, and he knew that red jacket did not go with that pink hat and those green shoes. Hello? And he was going to get that jacket as far away from those shoes as possible. Around Christmas time, everybody got part-time jobs to earn a little extra cash. Jeremy became a pet nanny. I didn't say he was a good pet nanny. Diego loved practicing his dribbling, but he needs to practice scoring as well. He really needs them to put up a net because dribbling without scoring means you'll never hear someone say, "Goal!" Collars off. It's time for Funniest Pets and People Unleashed. If the Jenkins kids can't handle old man Marley's sheep farm, then maybe they should cancel that trip to Pamplona they've been planning. Oh, look. Marley is doing his impression of Mr. Carlton from the corner house, telling him to get out of his yard. Now, he's doing Mr. Carlton telling him to get away from his house. You know what? If you knew Mr. Carlton, you'd know that this is spot on. One sure way to always look good is to make certain your workout partner is a real pig. And if you're both real pigs, then you're making each other look good while you're feeling good about yourself. That, my friend, is a win-win situation. Now, you wouldn't think this bird would be good at solving puzzles, but what is a nest but a giant, intricate, woven puzzle? Of course, this puzzle is no nest. When you can't turn a doorknob or pull a latch, you need to find other ways to open a gate. Gretchen believes a running start is the key. So much so that she even climbs a ladder to give her a little extra vroom, vroom, vroom. And there she goes. Vroom, 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 and up! Sometimes even a vroom, vroom, vroom ladder head start just isn't enough. If you're going to strategically bury your bones and treasures all over the backyard, it is always a good idea to keep a map somewhere safe, so when you want to uncover your treasures, you know exactly where they are. Roger here made just such a map, and he could swear this is where he buried it. Okay, they told Sparky not to stick his tongue to that metal pipe. Now, little Jimmy Bunce is pulling on the pipe and Patch is holding on to Sparky as they try to get him free. Here comes Sally Sue to help. There. Sparky, are you crazy? Do not put your tongue on that. Rin Tin Tim, no relation, wants to be a movie star in the worst way. Like if they ever made a movie about a dog that keeps an inflated yellow bag in the air for hours at a time, well, Tim is perfect for it. Or if they ever make a movie about an evil hose attacking the good people of a small town, Tim would be the perfect choice to play the dog that stops the madness. Oh, who are we kidding? Tim will be perfect in any movie. Someone start this thing and drive Tim to Hollywood. He's ready to be a star, baby. Coming up, the cat gets a handle on things. When we return to Funniest Pets and People. Welcome back to Funniest Pets and People. The bouncer wouldn't let them in because their names were not on the list. But when he was called away, Mr. Wickerwacker took matters into his own paws and let them both in.
Way to go, guys. Now, dance the night away. Oh my.
Thanks for watching.